A lot of interesting things. Okay, next video we are going to watch. I don't speak German, by the way. I don't speak German, but we're gonna watch this channel, which has a lot of pretty interesting content. And don't judge me.
Humans are apes with small.
All right, yeah. Don't judge me, okay? I highly recommend you go and subscribe and kind of watch these videos, because it's always good to feed the brain, okay? It's always good to feed the brain. This channel basically breaks things down to a kind of like a molecular level that's easy to comprehend and understand complex things. It is a German name. I don't know German, so don't judge me on my pronunciation, but I believe it's called Kurzgesagt, I think. Kurzgesagt. Actually, you know what? Kurzgesagt, I think. But we're about to find out. Hold on. Translate. And boom.
Kurzgesagt.
I was close.
Kurzgesagt.
Kurzgesagt. Okay. And it means in short. So, I mean, in short, in a nutshell. I'm not going to judge. Also, don't judge me for mispronouncing your name. I'm sorry. But yeah, we're going to watch a video. And yeah, why scientists are puzzled by this virus. I'm not sure what virus it is, but I kind of want to inform myself just to be careful, just to take precautionary measures, because listen, first of all, I don't want to get sick, as I'm already sick. Also, I don't want to contract the virus, and especially a virus that puzzles scientists, because I'm already fucked as it is. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to deal with anything.
Very recently, scientists discovered that your body is teeming with trillions of the most bizarre viruses. These viruses are not your enemy.
Oh my god, why? Why did I choose this video? He has so many other videos and I choose this one. I'm already panicking. It's giving me anxiety. My overthinking brain is already just like, there's something about, like, I'm so glad you can't see microscopic, like, germs or like things, because I would probably die. I would probably jump into lava in Minecraft if I was able to see microscopic, like, things, because germs, viruses, even knowing that there's things crawling on you or in anything you touch, already knowing that information is enough to scar me mentally. But if you're able to see it, I would freak the fuck out, and I already do.
But critical to your health.
Trillions of
disease, maybe even killing cancer. A new frontier of science, something truly new that we're only just beginning to understand.
That is mind-blowing. 5 seconds in this video, I'm already mind-blown.
You are an ecosystem.
Yeah,
You're
we are.
living,
I know that.
breathing ecosystem made of up to 40 trillion cells. This
40 trillion. I don't know if you know how many O's are in 40 trillion. Like, billion is crazy. Trillion, even millions. But trillion? That's like three times. That is, wait, that is, no, 3 times, 40 times. Yeah, we're basically, I know about the ecosystem. I know about, I've taken anatomy. So I know a little bit about the human body. As I said in previous streams, I wanted to be a doctor, or I don't know. I love medicine and all that. But yeah, we're basically like, and taking biology, you learn that you're basically like a biome for like cells and germs and virus. Like, yeah, it's insane. The human body is something that is incredible. It's like out of this world how the body
This
works.
metropolis of flesh is home
Especially
to
like
human
white cells and
another 40
stuff like
trillion
that.
bacteria that have a contract with your body. They get to live here, and in return, they break down your meals. They synthesize vitamins in your gut.
Yeah,
neutralize acids
there's
in your
good
mouth,
there's
help
good
balance your
bacteria
immune system,
and there's
and they take up space, preventing
bad
harmful
bacteria.
from getting in.
So probiotics
This
and stuff
is
like
a
that
fragile balance.
are good for your
Bacteria really
guts,
look out for
but
themselves, multiplying and testing their boundaries. To keep their numbers in check, your body's ecosystem needs a group of deadly predators. Viruses. At least 10 trillion. They're literally
if you really
everywhere
think
in
about
your
it,
body,
cells and
thousands of
everything
different
are
species.
predators as
At
well,
least a few
because
trillion live in
if
your
there's
gut,
bad
where also
things,
most of your resident
oh my god,
bacteria
this
are.
takes me back
At
to
least
biology
18
class.
billion on your skin, 100 million in each drop of your saliva, dozens of millions in your urinary tract. Even in a single drop of the cerebrospinal fluid surrounding your nerves and brain, researchers found up to 10,000 viruses.
I'm overwhelmed already. Like we're 1 minute and 34 seconds into the video, and I'm overwhelmed by the amount of information. But not really, because as I said, I took biology class, so this is very like I know this. This looks familiar. There's different types of cells, receptors, and ones that inject things. Like it's pretty amazing. But yeah, he did mention that bacteria are like predators, but really any type of cells are like white cells. They're predators as well, because they go out into your body. Like let's say you're sick, right? You have a virus. The body kind of alerts the brain to release like white cells to fight that bacteria, and they go out. They're like predators, right? And they kill it. I don't know if you've ever seen like in a microscope, like white cells at work and stuff like that, but pretty cool. Also, there's an anime that is pretty awesome. I forgot the name of it, but it has to do with like anatomy and health and stuff like that. So there's like cells and stuff. It's pretty cool. Check it out. But yeah, let's get back into this, because 11 minutes and I keep pausing because it's so much information to take in.
While this
But I love
sounds
it.
a horrible idea at first, at least in the gut, around 97% of them are bacteriophages, or phages, bizarre creatures that are specialized in hunting down and killing resident bacteria and are not able to infect your cells. Instead, they kill trillions of bacteria every single day. Together, these
That's
viruses
insane.
make up the human virome, a symbiotic virus ecosystem that's completely
It kills
unique to you
trillions,
and
but
that seems to be crucial
it
for
doesn't
your
kill
health.
all of it.
Let's get
Like,
to know them and see how they support you and what happens if things go wrong. The silent mass murderers of your body. Inside your gut, a stealthy lambda-phage floats through the buzzing crowds of bacteria looking for
I haven't
it.
heard these
It
terms
has
in
6
such a long
legs,
time.
a long, thin body, and a big head made of geometric shapes filled with genetic material. Each species is specialized in hunting one specific species of bacteria and ignores all others. Lambda is looking for Escherichia coli. This versatile bacteria is new.
Can some of them? I believe if I remember correctly, there's some cells that morph, or like let's say, kind of, yeah, they kind of mutate into other ones. So yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I a lot of these terms I don't really remember off the top of my head, but when he mentions it, I do remember hearing about it in biology class. Fuck, man.
For you, but it also has a dark side. Some of them would much rather live inside your flesh and feast on your resources. If there are too many, or if they manage to invade your tissue, they can cause serious diseases. So one of the most important jobs of the virome is to control the numbers of different bacteria populations by killing them. Lambda has found a victim. Spider-like legs get hold of a bacteria and grip it hard. Like an angry syringe, it violently rams its sharp
Basically
body
like
into
a
the
bee
victim's body
or a
and
mosquito,
releases its
but
DNA.
inside your body.
Once inside, the proteins disable the defenses of the bacterium. It is now a factory under new management. It's forced to build new viruses until the victim is filled up and bursts open, releasing a horde of fresh lambda viruses. But its goal is not genocide. Phages need a healthy population of bacteria to survive, so sometimes they choose a way more sinister tactic. Instead of killing their victim, the virus integrates its DNA into the genome of the bacteria and goes to sleep. When the bacteria multiplies, the virus DNA is multiplied too, until one day the viral DNA reawakens and suddenly decides to kill its unsuspecting victim.
That's insane.
And
That
if
is
things
insane.
become
You
exciting,
basically
your
plan a
viral
nuke
also needs to
inside
thrive.
bacteria
It's
and
in
just
its
like
interest that you're healthy. So
in a
some
timely
viruses
manner
inject genes
take it
into
all out.
bacteria that actively make them support your body. Some force their bacteria hosts to support your gut's mucus layer, break down complex carbohydrates from your food more efficiently, creating substances that protect against inflammation. And they alter what signals bacteria send to your immune cells. Basically, they're letting them know, we have things under control, you can chill out. This may prevent allergic reactions or even protect you against autoimmune diseases. But of course, there's also a dark side to this story.
Yep.
Some viruses...
Before you get into the dark side of the story, like think about how many like protective measures or layers there are to your body. Like nose hairs are there to kind of stop things from getting into your nose. Then there's like a plan B if that doesn't work and something gets in. Then there's a stage C, D. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, let's learn. We learned about the good things. We learned about their functions and what they do in the human body. Let's learn about the bad things. What can go wrong with these viruses and cells and bacteria? Because yeah, as I said, there's good bacteria like probiotics. You probably hear about that like in yogurt and stuff like that. But there's bad ones, obviously. So
don't care about our health. Instead of helping, they turn
here we go.
harmless
My
bacteria
anxiety
into
is just
deadly monsters.
increasing.
When viruses turn bacteria into killers. Some species of bacteriophage carry dangerous genes for toxic substances. When they take over their hosts, they can integrate into the genetic code of the bacteria where they lay as a deadly gift. Like the case of the Vibrio cholerae and the CTX5 bacteriophage hunting them. Most strains of the cholerae bacteria are harmless and billions of them may live in your gut right now. When CTX5 infect the bacteria,
Not my gut.
them the
Come on,
genes for the
man.
cholera toxin,
Honestly,
which
my
becomes
gut
part
health
of
is
their
not that
genetic
good.
lineage forever. It's like handing a house cat a shotgun. Vibrio cholerae shower these toxins at the cells lining your gut, making them sick. They vomit.
Why would he give a cat a shotgun? Like, you could have said, like, giving a monkey, a chimpanzee, a gun. Have you ever seen that video of the chimpanzee with they hand him an AK and he just, like, shoots and sprays? Yeah, I don't know. That is insane, though, man. Fuck, man.
Large amounts of salt, which pulls out a flood of water into your intestines. This causes
Yeah, to kind of
explosive
clean it out.
diarrhea and vomiting, draining your body of fluid. If untreated, about half of patients die. But for the phage and bacteria, this is great.
I thought you die of dehydration, but
oh,
interesting.
This strain of Vibrio cholerae is now a dangerous enemy of humanity thanks to this virus. Or the bacteria Staphylococcus aureus, which is hunted by the phage with the amazing name.
These kind of sound like
5-3MS.
freaking dinosaurs.
Usually the bacteria is mostly harmless and lives on your skin and inside your nose.
Yeah, exactly. See, I know. I'm smart. I might look stupid on stream, but I'm smart. Trust me.
But SA3MS can change this quickly. It carries multiple dangerous genes, like giving a cat flamethrowers and grenades.
Again with the
If
cat.
such a modified Staphylococcus aureus bacteria gets into
Now
your
I don't want a
body
cat.
and cut,
Now I don't
it
want a cat.
becomes extremely dangerous. One of its new weapons are super antigens, which basically is like injecting your immune cells with cocaine. The toxin completely breaks your carefully fine-tuned immune system. It activates all of your T cells all at once and makes them flip out. They release a tsunami of cytokines, activating all of your defenses at once. The infection is
So this is basically a counter attack. You know how before he said, "Oh yeah, the cells latch onto the bacteria and kind of insert like a bomb basically, and then with time it blows up and kills it. This is basically the same, but just reversed. Also, T cells and stuff like that. It reminds me of like learning about diabetes and stuff like that because, well, I got it when I was 8, and usually there's, oh man, okay, let me kind of talk about this. I know I'm prolonging the video and all that, but there's a huge misconception in the world about diabetes. There's different types. There's type 1, there's type 2, and then there are like diseases that can cause like a diabetes too. Like one of them is like CFRD, like cystic fibrosis related diabetes. So it's not like type 1 or type 2, but yeah, there's a common misconception. So a lot of people, especially when it comes down to diabetes, think that, oh, every time they ask me about it, the common mistake or error they make is like, oh, so you ate a bunch of sugar and stuff when you were a kid, and that's how you got it. No. Let me get closer to the camera. That's not type 1. That's not type 1. Type 1 is basically your cells, your good cells, right? They kind of go crazy, as he was going to say, and they think that there is a threat in the pancreas. I believe the terminology, the medical term is the islets of Langerhans, something like that. But yeah, they attack the cells that produce insulin. So you can know your body is unable to produce any insulin. Hence why type 1s have to take injections, or in my case, have an insulin pump, which is basically like a mini IV with insulin. But yeah, your body's unable to produce it. Type 2 now could be related to weight, but usually fat cells. So your body has receptors, right? So when you eat, it kind of converts it into carbohydrates, which then gets used for energy. And if it can't convert it to energy, it turns it into fat. Also, fact check me if you watch this and I'm wrong on something. Correct me, please, because learning is improving. But yeah, it converts it to fat. But in order to break down the carbohydrates, your body needs insulin. So whenever you eat, you get a spike on your blood sugar. Then the insulin kind of helps break down the food, convert it to energy, as I said. But without insulin, it doesn't do that. So then your body, basically, you can go into ketosis or spill ketones, which is basically showing you how much, it's a lot, how much sugar you have in your body. And then it can be, if you get into DKA or diabetic ketoacidosis, which I've been in many times, you have too much acid in your blood. So then you throw up, then you get really sick, and you can also die from that. So complications with diabetes and whatnot. But yeah, there's a big misconception. So type 2, basically, if you're obese and you have type 2, those receptors get blocked by fat. So your insulin isn't able to kind of get to where they need to be in order to do that. But with some dieting and exercise, you can reverse that. Type 1 is irreversible. It is forever. So yeah, my diabetes is type 1. That's why I got this tattoo right here. See? It says diabetic type 1, estimated August 2004. Just to let people know, it's not a commemoration to my diabetes, but it has happened where I needed to go to the hospital in an ambulance. Didn't have my ID on me. So I was a John Doe. I was in critical care. They didn't know who the fuck I was. And I couldn't tell them. You know, I couldn't just wake up and be like, hey, I'm such and such. Find me in the system. No, I was John Doe. So this is just to let them know, like, hey, I'm a diabetic. Maybe that's what you need to treat. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. This video isn't just me. I'm gonna let him kind of explain. Yeah, let's get back to it.
Can't fight the bacteria and cause heavy inflammation. Your broken and confused immune cells have a really hard time fighting Staphylococcus aureus, which now invades, penetrating deep into your tissue. Your body is trying to seal the wounds and isolate the invader, but another new weapon it gained has the ability to just dissolve the barriers and penetrate even deeper. Before the onset of antibiotics, an infection with Staphylococcus aureus was very deadly, and we have SWMusashi to thank for making it even deadlier. But the viruses of our virome may also
bad viruses, man.
Save your life by killing cancer. Cancer-killing viruses. Oncolytic viruses specialize in hunting and killing cancer, like the Newcastle disease virus or the Rio virus, who mostly ignore your healthy cells.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Fuck cancer.
Cancer cells are broken mutants that evolve various ways to hide and fight back against your immune system.
Just had to throw that out there. Fuck cancer, okay? If cancer was a person and you're watching this, fuck you. My grandfather died of cancer. A lot of my mom's side of the family has suffered from cancer. My aunt, who's like my second mother, is currently battling through cancer. So, yeah, it's a sore subject for me. But cancer is quite a, he's probably going to say it, but it's not black and white when it comes to curing or finding a cure for cancer, because the thing is, as he is about to mention, cancer comes from like your own cells, then they turn bad. So even when you do treatments like radiation and stuff like that, it doesn't really target your bad cells. It targets all your cells. Mostly the bad ones, but also the good ones as well. That's why sometimes people lose their hair or they get weak and also suffer because it's unable to identify. I don't know. Maybe it is unable to identify only the cancer cells, because it's just, cancer cells are basically a mutation of your good cells. So, yeah, whatever. Back to the video.
But as they get better at this, they get worse at other things, like fighting back viruses. A weakness to be exploited. Oncolytic viruses target the specific adaptations of cancer cells, hitting them where they are not ready to be hit. And worse for these cells, since their internal machinery is compromised, they can't defend themselves. They're taken over and turned into virus production factories. Eventually, the new viruses
spreading throughout other parts of your body.
Cancer cells nearby. This death and destruction is not subtle, and one side effect is that it attracts immune cells that immediately begin attacking the tumor with full force. What's even more impressive, these viruses seem to disrupt the artificial environment that tumors create to keep your immune system at bay. Oncolytic viruses are like infiltrators in a city at siege, opening the gates while killing defenders left and right, helping your immune cells to win the fight.
Yeah, so this is the good
we don't know yet to what degree oncolytic viruses are part of your
example of oncolytic
accident, but they seem to go well together with chemotherapy or radiation. Eventually, they may become an important new tool to enable us to eliminate cancer and save millions of lives. We don't know what we'll learn in the next few years, but we now know that there are trillions of potential allies within us, killing and manipulating for better or worse. What an exciting time to be alive.
Yeah. I mean, it is an exciting time to be alive because medicine has come a long way. But in other eras, medicine wasn't as good. I think the thing is with scientists and medicine, it's really discovering things. Like before, obviously, if they knew what we know today, maybe there wouldn't be a lot of deaths happening back then. But medicine has made a long way. Medicine is science. And so hopefully in the future it keeps progressing. And I know there's kind of like a divide. A lot of people especially like in my family, right? They're I wouldn't say very religious, but they are Catholic. And yeah, let's say you get sick, you're in the hospital, something happens to you. They thank God for curing you. And or if you're feeling better, they'll basically give the credit to God. Whereas me, I don't know if it's because of my interest in medicine and being, I don't really want to put the label of atheist, but agnostic at least, because if there's something out there, a higher being, I'm curious, but I don't know. I lean towards more science than religion. But yeah, that's their mindset. Whereas mine is like, oh yeah, science and medicine is what made me better, not, a higher being. Who knows?
Wow.
Oh, also, not necessarily saying that if you're a doctor or you're a scientist, you don't believe in it. Mostly that's the case, but there are some religious scientists and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, there's people who are like, well, thank God because he allowed us the knowledge to discover new said things and stuff like that. And then there's people who are like, no, it's God who basically cured it, not medicine. I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, I'm not biased. I'm not unbiased. I'm not taking one side or the other. But basically what I'm saying is it happens. The only thing that I will say that I am against, I believe everyone should, and this is probably the only time I will touch on religion, the topic of religion, is basically if it's beneficial to you, if it makes you cope with life or the end, good. If it's benefiting you. But don't try to push that on others, because others might not share the same mindset as you or the same views as you. Also, if your practices or your beliefs are not that they're negative, but they kind of harm others, that's the issue there. Or if it's kind of making you not do the right things. Like, I don't know. Like, for an example, let's say a child is born to two very, very strict religious people. And that child is suffering from God knows, ironically, God knows what, right? That child needs medical attention. If your beliefs is, no, let's not take him to the hospital. Let's not get him medical attention because it's in God's hands. God will cure it. And that child is gravely ill and that child dies, then that's bad. That's where I'm like, no, hell no. But yeah, I'm just that's what I have to say about that. Okay, well, let's finish the video.
Right. Are there any more exciting
Actually,
stories?
this is a sponsorship.
Our friends from Imprint. Their app is a unique new way.
Let's skip the sponsorship, okay? I don't mean to skip the sponsorship, but yeah, I already promoted the channel. Very interesting, as you can see by this video. I do suggest you go and check it out, subscribe to them. But yeah, I'm not gonna promote sponsors because they're not my sponsors. Actually, speaking about sponsorships, this stream is sponsored by, can you guess? I'll give you a hint. Actually, let me just tell you. It's sponsored by no one. Okay, back to the video.
Here, coming to you straight from the Doctopia Labs. It's the Determinator 3000. Does free will exist? Are you in charge?
Oh, okay. This is a limited edition pin. That's pretty cool though. That's pretty cool as a pin. But yeah, cool. I don't know if this is an NFT or if this is a physical pin, but that was a very interesting video. Hopefully I didn't prolong it way too much, but I thought since I had some knowledge on some of the things I was saying that I would contribute to it, because obviously when it comes down to reaction content, you got to be transformative, right? It has to be transformative. You got to put in your 2 cents, kind of make it, not make it your own, but contribute something to it. I don't want to rip off of other creators. But yeah, that is that.